Hey everybody, Peter is here, SA is here, Israel is here. Good to see you guys. I am going to talk to you today about website copy. And I just have to quit this Firefox over here because I am coming through. All right, awesome. Colette. Oh man, Colette, super chat. Boom. 25. I love that. You're my girlfriend. If you have any questions, you're going to get yours answered first. And I know you do. Colette always has questions. So, hey, welcome, guys. As you know, I'm trying to go live 3-ish times a week over the next 30 days. Just trying to rejuice my YouTube channel. I've been out of the YouTube milieu for about 4 or 5 months as I've launched my first course, Brand Strategy 101, who a couple people in chat have actually taken the course. And so I'm now back on my weekly schedule of publishing a video a week. I'm also back on my newsletter. That schedule's more like every 3 weeks now. But I'm excited to be back. And so in order to kind of, jumpstart my channel, I decided to go live. I made a commitment to go live like 3 times a week over the next 30 days because I really just wanted to kind of see, number one, if that kind of improved my engagement. And if any of you are watching and have not subscribed, please hit that subscription button below. I would love it if you were subscribed to my channel. That way you can get alerted when I do go live or when I post something new. Hey, Daniel. Good to see you guys. So today I'm going to talk about customer journeys and website copy. And really, the key part of what I want to talk about is that a lot of people don't have website copy that performs. It doesn't get them leads. It doesn't get them customers. They may be getting traffic. They may be getting, some action, some page clicks. But when it comes right down to it, they're not getting the kind of response or action taken that they want to have taken on their website. And so some of you in the audience here may be creative professionals. You may design websites for other people. You may obviously have a website of your own. But if you feel like you got a great handle on your website copy, then that's great. If you feel like you have customers or clients who may need help in this regard, the content today is really going to help you, because if you kind of take notes and really capture some of the major themes of what I'm talking about, it makes for great discussion points with your clients, and it also makes for a great kind of evaluation structure for when you look at their website and when you try to evaluate whether their website needs to work or whether it's kind of meeting the criteria of what I'm going to be talking about today. And so, where are you guys from? Peter, I know where you're from. Colette, I know where you're from. Benflex from Germany. Awesome. Great. Well, thank you guys for joining me and taking some time out of your Wednesday to spend with me here on YouTube. And so I wanted to make a couple little announcements. One is that if you are not a member of my Facebook group, Brand Design Masters, if you go to facebook.com/groups/Brand Design Masters, you can apply to be in this private Facebook group. You have to answer a few questions. You got to cough up your email address, which puts you on my mailing list, full disclosure. But it's an amazing community of creative professionals, very accomplished senior ones, junior ones, all over the world who are sharing resources and ideas and inspiration and getting feedback from each other. It's a very vibrant community, and I really hope that you come on and join. It's a really great group. Brand Design Masters is the name of that Facebook group. And with that said, I do want to make one little plug, and that is if you are looking to learn Adobe applications, Photoshop, Illustrator, you may feel you're a little rusty, Premiere Pro. If you feel like you're, there may be new tools out there that you don't know exactly how to use or use to the best of their ability, check out Daniel Scott. Daniel Scott is a certified Adobe instructor. He speaks at the Adobe Max conference, so he's totally legit. He's got a subscription-based Adobe training website called Bring Your Own Laptop. Absolutely top flight. He is also a super nice, super fun guy. I've had him on my podcast. I've had him on my YouTube channel. I've been on his podcast. He's a really exceptional teacher and has a great vibe to him. So if you're looking to learn Adobe applications, check out Daniel Scott at byol.me. And if you use /Philip, that's an affiliate link, and I will get just a little commission for that. You don't pay any more, but if you do value the value I bring you here on YouTube, please use my affiliate link. I'd really, really appreciate it. And with that, let's jump into it. What do you say? Solomon from Sierra Leone, awesome. From India, Laura from Toronto, Solomon from Sierra. Oh, sorry, said that already. Looping back. Okay, so let's talk about website copying. What do you say? You guys ready? First of all, we are going to talk about a thing called a customer journey. What a customer journey is that you are architecting the path of movement and action of the people who are coming to the website. You are taking an active role in moving them through a process of action, thought, into making, taking physical action that you want them to take on your website, where you want them to go, what you want them to do. The biggest mistake that a lot of people make when it comes to website copy, particularly creative professionals, and I'm pointing at you, is making it all about you. And it's not about you. It's about your customer. A lot of people right out of the gate start with the bio section or start with the letter I. I am a talented graphic designer. I am a great photographer. I am passionate about blah, blah, blah. I am driven to be the most amazing graphic designer in the world. Whatever that is, it starts off about you, and it's not about you. Who it's about is the customer, the visitor, the person who is showing up at your website. You want to hit them immediately with something that they identify with. You don't want to talk immediately. There is a place and a time for talking about you, for talking about what it is you do, how great you are, what you know, who your clients have been. And I'm going to get to that in terms of where that falls in this copy journey. But what you want to focus on out of the gate is what they need. Okay? Focus on the customer, not on you. What they need, what they want, what they're looking for. You want to develop customer-centric communication, okay? Next up, you really want to focus on their needs. And I'm going to talk through, I think, 10 different aspects of the customer journey in just a moment. But in an overarching theme of customer journey communication on a website is you want to focus on their needs. You want to focus on their problem, what it is that they want solved. That's what you come right out of the gate with. That's what you make sure that you hit with a heavy hammer right above the fold before they ever even have to scroll. You want to get into what their needs are. And in order to articulate what their needs are, you have to know who they are. You have to know who are the people who are coming to this website. Now, if it's not your website and you're not looking for clients for your agency, it's your client's website. Why are people coming to your client's website? Who are they? You have to know about them. You have to know what that customer avatar, that customer profile is. What are they coming to the site for? What are they struggling with? What is the solution that they're looking for? You have to really dig in and think about that. You have to understand and see in your mind's eye who that customer profile is and understand the problem. Understand the why they are coming to this site. And then you want to ask yourself some questions. After you understand why they're coming, what is it that you want them to do? What pages do you want them to visit? In what order do you want them to visit those pages? What do you want them to do on each of the pages? Is this a website that's a B2B, so business to business? Is it business to consumer? Those sorts of avatars, those sorts of customer profiles are very different. What is their motivation? What are their goals for why they're coming to the site? What are they feeling? What emotionally are they feeling when they're searching for something by coming to your website? What are they thinking right now? What are their pain points? What are their expectations? What are they seeking? What are they looking for? So the first thing that you want to do right out of the gate, above the fold, is you want to state their problem. You want to articulate what it is their problem is. And because if they can identify immediately with hearing back from you what their problem is, they are going to immediately be magnetically attracted to the site and want to stay. So understanding the customer profile and understanding their problem gives you the ammunition to be able to state the problem back to them. A lot of what website communication is, effective website communication is mirroring. So in psychotherapy, when a psychiatrist is talking to a client, they mirror that client's behavior. In sales, salesmen mirror behavior of their prospect. And that is what you are doing in the website to an extent. You are mirroring what the customer is looking for and their attitude and their emotion and their need state, what we say in the business, the need state. And so you want to state their problem back to them. Are you having trouble with your leads? Are you struggling with the design of your website? Are you looking for more customers? Whatever it is that your avatar wants, that's what you want to state back to them. And many times a question, stating it back in terms of a question, is very helpful. Number two is you want to show them that you identify with them. You want to make sure that they know that you feel their pain, that you know what it feels like to have that problem. You know what the ramifications of having that problem are, and you might want to state an example or two in a sentence or a phrase about what it feels like or what they're going through when they're having that problem. You want to show them that you identify with how they're feeling, okay? Which starts to draw them in to you and starts to make them begin to understand that you understand them. They start to feel understood. So you have to state and identify that you understand their problem. The third thing that you do, number 3, state the problem, show them you identify with that problem, that you really feel what they're feeling. Number 3 is you want to describe the solution. The solution to your problem is blah, blah, blah. The solution to this issue, to get you to where you need to be, what you need to have is this. Whatever that is, whether that's, great photography, a great website, incredible branding, marketing help, social media following, whatever it is, and if it's a client's website, it could be whatever industry they're in. Maybe it's, I'm looking for a great coffee maker. I'm looking for a fantastic restaurant to take my wife to on our anniversary. Whatever that thing is, you want to describe what the solution is. So in the case of taking your wife on an anniversary dinner, it could be, what if you had a corner table in a darkly lit restaurant with a single candle and a waiter who was satisfying your every whim, and a menu that was going to make your mouth water and show your wife that she is the most special woman in the world to you. Okay? And so you want to describe what the solution feels like. Okay? The next thing you want to do is you want to introduce your services. That's the next thing. Here's the solution. This is what the solution looks like. And oh, by the way, this is the kind of thing that we offer. And that's when you go through what your solutions are. The next thing is you state how your services, how your solution solves their problem. So we offer, in the case of a restaurant, we offer intimate dining with French cuisine in a quiet, romantic atmosphere. In the case of a website, it might be, we build highly functioning, fast, beautifully designed, converting e-commerce websites. How does the service that you just described solve their particular problem, that particular pain point of theirs? And then number 6 is, how is your service different from other people's? So you describe what the solution is, how your service solves that, and then you kind of have to, this is where your differentiation comes in. This is where you have to describe what makes you unique, what makes you uniquely qualified to solve their problem. This can be how you differentiate from your competitors. If you're an agency, maybe you're an e-commerce agency, and you have a team of specialist e-commerce developers in India, and all of your competitors in your space use domestic people, and you are different because you're cheaper, or you are different because you specialize in some sort of WordPress theme that is very unique. I don't know, whatever that is. But this is the place where you talk about your differentiation from who you see your competitive set is. Are you cheaper? Are you more product? Are you faster? Are whatever that differentiation is? Are you local, right? Do you have a huge team? Do you have a tiny team? What is that thing? And the next thing is you go into why you're better, why you're different, and then why you're better. Why is what you deliver better from your competition, better from those people who you're different from? And then you describe what the benefit of them using you is for them. So again, you're turning it back around. You've spent a little bit of time talking about the solution and what you offer, why you're better, why you're different, and then you turn it back to them and you say, what is the benefit? What are they going to get? What are they going to feel? What are they going to walk away with when they engage with you? You want to paint a really clear picture of the after state, of the end game, of them being satisfied. Okay? And then, this is an important one, is you want to address the barriers to purpose. Barriers to purchase. The barriers to purchase are, what are the things that they're going to go, well, no, I'm going to click off the site, or no, they're not for me, or, I have this reservation. By understanding who your customer profile is and what their reservation is, you can state back to them what they might be thinking if they're thinking that they're not going to use you. If they have a barrier to purchase that your design of your website is so amazing and your portfolio is so amazing that they can never afford you. You might be able to say, we may look like a premium service and completely unaffordable, but I tell you that we work inside of, whatever that description is, where you can describe and break down whatever those barriers to purchase that they have are. Whether you can work very quickly, whether you can work around their calendar, whether you're local, whether you have a broad range of services beyond what your competitors have. You want to address whatever you see those barriers as being, okay? And then finally, you want to tell them, and this is a really, really important one, you want to tell them what to do and where to go. This is one of the ones that drives me crazy, is that so many clients and so many creative professionals too, they don't make it really clear what they want people to do on their website. They just put a bunch of stuff out there and then just expect visitors to find their way. You want to be really clear about, where the button is. Click this to find out more. Click this to contact us. Click this to see our portfolio. Drive every single bit of communication to that one action. I would recommend that you take a point of view of one action on a home page. Because here's the factoid. About 80% of web traffic never gets past one page. So number one, you have to have your home page has got to work really hard for you in terms of customer journey communication. That's why I laid out these very specific steps for you today about how that thought process has got to evolve on this single page. And because not everybody gets past that home page, that customer journey being very fast, not a lot of copy, but hitting every one of those points is really, really critical. But the most important part on the tail end of that is you have to tell them what you want them to do. Click here to set up a free assessment appointment. Click here for a demo. Click here to to contact us. Click here to set an appointment for a discovery call. You have to be really, really clear about what it is that you want them to do. Maybe you want them to go and look at all of your case studies on your portfolio. Maybe you want them to check out all of your thought leadership on your blog. Whatever it is, just be super, super clear about what it is you want them to do. Okay? And all of your copy should hint at that. So as you get to the bottom of the page or the bottom of the communication and the journey, they are being primed for doing that thing. Okay? Now, here's the big question. People ask me, where do I start? How do I know that this is the right customer journey? How do I know that I'm building the right thing? I'm not even sure about my customer profile. I'm not even sure about, what these aspects, what I should have them be doing, right? And so what I have to tell people is that it's just like marketing. Marketing is not an absolutely exact science. What you do in marketing is you start with a hypothesis that this is what we think, this is what our perceptions are, this is what we think is true, and you develop some marketing around that, and you test it, and then you see if it gets traction. And if it doesn't, then you try a different platform, you try a different approach, you try different kinds of copy. And it's the same thing with a customer journey. You have to start with a hypothesis and iterate. You have to make an assumption about the customer profile. With your best knowledge, make an assumption about what their problem is, what the solution to that problem is, and put it out there, put a stake in the ground. But here's the important thing after doing that is that you want to make sure that you're getting feedback. You're looking at your Google Analytics. You want to look at the Google Analytics of what pages they are landing on initially in your site and where they are traveling to in subsequent pages, because that's going to tell you how long they are actually reading that home page, how long they're spending there. And then if they are taking that action and clicking that button and going to that particular page, whatever that page is, the next page, could be the calendar, could be a contact page, whatever that is, that's going to be clear. So if it's not, and they're not doing that thing, you have to go back in and you have to tweak and you have to iterate and you have to kind of massage your message a little bit. So there's a couple different ways to iterate. One is that you get customer feedback. So if you do get any leads, any contacts, in the first discovery call, talk to them and say, hey, how did you come to us? Did you go to our website? Yeah, we did. What did you think? Was it very clear to you in terms of what we offered and what we wanted, where you should go? Yeah, it was. I jumped right to the calendar, made this appointment, right? Or no, I was a little confused because I went to your portfolio page and then I jumped to your contact page and I wasn't really sure how to make an appointment. So get feedback from the visitors who actually do end up contacting you so you can get feedback on how the page is performing and what people are thinking about when they're doing it. You can also use things like heat maps and things that are available on the web to show where people are scrolling on the page and how long they're spending on particular parts of those pages. Those can be really helpful. And so qualitative feedback from customers, you can also get that from trusted network connections if you aren't getting it from customers. And then quantifiable feedback from Google Analytics, the number of clicks per visitor, or how number of visitors it takes to get a click, And you want to design your website copy with intent. You have to be really clear, really direct, and very concise. Now, this is an important one. People don't read websites very much. People don't spend a lot of time on homepages. They don't read like they used to, not big lines of copy. So keep things very, very short and concise. It only takes a sentence or two to do each one of these 10 things that I told you in this live. You want to be clear about where you want them to click, what you want them to read, that you want them to contact you, or that you want them to watch something, or you want them to buy something, or you want them to download something. Whatever it is that you want them to do, just be super, super clear about it, and then tell them to do that thing, right? So remember, be customer-centric. It's not about you. It is about them, okay? It's not about you. It's about them. You start about them and you end about them. And in the middle, you describe what the solution is, what you offer, and why you're better and why you're different, okay? That is a customer journey. And that concludes our presentation today on website copy. And so I would like to know from you guys, feedback, what you thought of that. Did you learn anything that you maybe hadn't heard before, or was there an aspect of that kind of was resonating with you in terms of either a client you've had that they're falling down on or not doing very well, or something on your website that you're like, I wonder if I'm doing that on my website? I'd love to know that. Pop it into the chat if you would. I'd really like to know. All right. And with that, I am going to do a couple things. Number one, I'm going to ask that if you have not subscribed to my newsletter, my mailing list, go to philipvandusen.com/muse, M-U-S-E, and subscribe to my newsletter. It's called Brand Muse, hence the name. And it is comes out every 2 or 3 weeks, and I share some insights, a really nice kind of article, blog post, narrative story, some links to articles that I recommend, a cool list of resources, a quote of the week, some really fun stuff. It's a great newsletter. It's been coming out for about 6 years, and people love it. So if you're not subscribed, please do that. And the other thing is that as I relaunch my course, my masterminds, my community, which is going to be launching soon, you will hear first about it, and you will be in the know. And so please go to philipvandusen.com/muse and check that out. I'll put that on there one more time. And oops, didn't go on. There we go. Go. Okay. All right. Now, and the other thing I wanted to say, as soon as that goes away, is the Facebook group, Brand Design Masters. If you're not a member of the Brand Design Masters Facebook group, go there right after we're done. Facebook.com/groups, Brand Design Masters. You have to fill out a few questions, got to cough up your email address. You will get put on my list. And then you are going to be in a community of some really, really great creative professionals. And I also go live in there privately. So if you want more of me, more live, more content like this, in an even more intimate setting, go to Brand Design Masters. Okay, so check that out. All right, now I'm going to scroll back here and see a couple questions. I wanted to thank Daniel and Peter and Colette for the super chats. That's so awesome. And with that said, if any of you want to support the work I do here on YouTube, there is a button in the chat below on the chat thing. It says Super Chat, and it gives you an opportunity to donate, put some money in the tip jar, essentially. It also highlights your comment on my chat window here on my side, and so I can see if you are asking a question, and I will prioritize that question because you are supporting me in a valuable way. So thank you guys for that. I really appreciate that. That means a lot to me. And with that, I know that Colette asked a question. Was it earlier on? Sorry, I'm going to scroll back. No, it was a little later. Oh, no. Yeah, and if you have a question, please type questions in all caps before your question, so it will jump out to me in chat and I can find it quickly. So Colette, thank you very much for your super chat. Asks, is it better to have the main page have all this info in a single scroll format, or with links to separate pages? I know the more you have them click, the more people you will lose. And yeah, I think I addressed that when I was talking. But yes, it should really be on all one page. And you can do those 10 points literally in about 15 sentences, if in the absolute minimum. And you can break them out. You can intersperse images and buttons and things like that, or whatever it is that's going to make it visually pleasing. But you should probably have that customer journey all on one page. And that is because, as I said, you're going to lose 80% of the people as soon as they click onto another page. The attention span of people on the net now is minuscule, tiny, 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 absolutely no attention. You know how you act on websites, right? Click, scroll, 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 scroll. You don't read, look at the pictures, boom, right? Maybe you're on to the next page, and then a notification comes in, and then you see an email pop in, and then your notifications ding that you have a meeting that you have to do. We're all pulled in a million different directions, and so you have to be super, super clear and take them through this customer journey, this thought process, very quickly on a single page. And if you have them, move them to different pages to speak about different parts of this, just know that you're going to lose more than half of them every time they have to click onto a new page. Okay. Peter asks, what's your opinion of sliders for showing sample work? That's really funny that you bring that up, Peter, because I was meeting with my marketing assistant today, and we were re-looking at kind of my website and kind of breathing some life into the homepage, which hasn't evolved in a year or so. And my team was proposing a slider to me. So I have a section on my site that shows like 3 thumbnails of recent projects that I've worked on. And clicking on those thumbnails takes you to the case study page where you have all the thumbnails and you can look at all the case study work that I have on my site. But they were suggesting that I have a slider that, the center image kind of magnifies, and you can scoot through a list of or a number of the case study thumbnails. And so I'm actually considering it. I think that there was a period of time when everybody had a slideshow, and they were slow in loading, and they were painful, and they were kind of cliche. But there's some interesting looking plugins for WordPress now that make some really kind of interesting and fun looking slideshows. So I'm not a huge fan of them, particularly for showing work in terms of showing portfolios. Like if you have a portfolio with 1 or 2 pieces of each client, and then you have a 20 or 30 slide portfolio, I wouldn't put that in a slider. I would break it into case studies or client sections. Colette asks, how often should you do major updates to your website? That's, okay. Google knows when a website has been updated. Okay, so one of the really great reasons why people do blogs, even if you're posting your blog or your article on LinkedIn or Medium, you should also post it on the blog portion of your website. Why? Because Google recognizes when sites are being updated. Every time Google cruises the net and takes a little, snapshot of your site, it recognizes whether your site is cold or whether it's warm. If it gets updated multiple times a day, or if it hasn't been updated in 3 months. And it will prioritize or deprioritize sites based on how often they are updated. So if you are blogging, post that article on your blog. Sometimes if you got a new piece, did a new client piece, don't wait till you have 3 new case studies to go through the motions and post them all. Do them as soon as you get them and update that site often. Okay, because Google will raise you up a tad in search the more active your site is. The more you let it go dormant, the more Google thinks that it's abandoned. Okay, so. But then in terms of how often should you do a major, update on your website, I think really when it comes down to it, when it starts to look dated or when you're bored with it, and to be honest with you, I'm starting to get bored with my website. I've been adding pages and depth and all sorts of content to it. It's now a pretty deep site, but its aesthetics are starting to wear on me. And so, but it's been a number of years since I really kind of did any major overhaul on how it looks. So I'm not a huge fan of spending tons of time and energy redesigning your site in a major way every 6 months. It's a waste of time. Unless, and this is the unless you get like an insane amount of traffic or an insane amount of non-unique traffic. And you can also see that in Google Analytics. How much of your traffic is not unique, meaning how much of your traffic are returning visitors. If you have a lot of returning visitors on your website, you might want to think about updating your site more often, because that means that when people come to your site, they're going to go, oh, nothing new here. And they say, Colette's not a mover and shaker, right? Colette's got nothing going on. Her site's mothballed. So take a look at, I'm a big believer in making sure that you're keeping your thumb on your analytics. And if there's one thing that I think creative professionals fall down on a lot, is that they don't really look at their analytics on their own websites and try to learn from them. One of the most illuminating things that you can possibly do on your website is go and look at the origination of traffic and also the traffic journey on your website. What pages do they land on? Where do they go from those pages? You can see that on Google Analytics as a flow chart. It's very cool. It's also, in some cases, really distressing when you see what the reality is of what people are doing. And when you do see that, it will hit you like a ton of bricks about how important it is to get people to land on the right page, and that you got to make that page work really hard for you. Okay? Peter says, I'm updating my site every hour. Yeah, I know, right? Joe Badger, Money Mentor. Thanks for your comments today on my video. That was cool. I appreciate that. I'm glad to see you here. Jennifer Byrne. Awesome. Jennifer Byrne is here. Jennifer is a member of the upcoming Guild number 4 in-house. It's going to start tomorrow. Aren't you psyched? Jennifer, you psyched? I'm totally psyched. The Brand Design Masters Guild, and I could just throw that up here really quickly, is a mastermind group that I run. And it is $14.97 for a 12-week program. I'm not going to go into the whole pitch, but and Guild number 4 is starting right now. Guild number 5 is going to launch in about 2.5 months. And so if you're interested in the Brand Design Masters Guild, go to philipvandusen.com/mastermind, and then there's about a 6 or 8 question little form that you got to fill out about your interest in the guild, what your challenges are in your business, where you want to be, where you are now. And it gives me some information in terms of, whether you would be a good fit for the guild. And I'm constantly taking new applications, and the groups are limited to 10 people. And as soon as they fill, they're closed. So 4 is filled, closed, and just about to start running. And it starts tomorrow, and I'm really, really excited about it. And Guild number 5 will start in about 2.5 months, 3 months. All right. So if you want to be in on the Brand Design Masters Guild, and it is an insanely great experience. I know there are 3 or 4 people in chat right now who have been in it. It's an incredible, and it will pay back that investment before you, in many cases, leave the group. So that's that. I'm going to turn that off. All right. Okay. So if there are not any other questions, I'm going to blow out of here, because, as I said, I'm trying to make these quicker hit lives on YouTube to make them more like my videos. Get in, drop some serious value, get the heck out. And also because I'm going live more often, I'm giving everybody less notice that I'm going live. Like, I banged together an email announcing this live and sent it out like 30 minutes before I went live to try to give my email list a little bit of warning that I was going. But I'm deciding on what I'm going to do this on very late, and so I'm not able to put out emails like days in advance that I usually do to my lives to kind of hip everybody. So they're quicker hits. They're coming fast and furious, and I'm really stoked and glad that you guys... Oh, Daniel is in... I'm sorry, Daniel. Daniel's in Guild 4 too, so totally psyched, Daniel. Daniel was the first man in Guild number 4, so he gets a special spot because he knew its value and jumped in before anybody else in Guild number 4. Yeah, because I'm going more live more often, I'm giving you less notice, and I'm trying to make them, kind of strategic kind of strikes, right? All right. So you guys, if there are no more questions, I'm going to bounce, and it doesn't look like there are. I'm going to give you like 30 more seconds. If anyone has a question, type all caps question and then your question. I'd be happy to answer it. Okay? And as Peter is fond of quoting me, Red Bull, it keeps my lips moving. I usually drink Red Bull when I'm going live because it kind of gives me the juice. And I know it's bad for you, and I know I should be using something else. Like, I have coffee too, but it's an acquired taste. Okay, guys, this has been awesome. And if any of you know anybody who works at Red Bull and can get, my YouTube channel lives onto someone's desk, so I can get an endorsement from Red Bull, that would be awesome. I'd love to get paid for holding up their can on my lives. I've been doing it for years, unpaid. So, got to take our endorsements where we can get them, right? And that's a brand I believe in. All right, you guys, this has been cool. Jay, Kareb, Daniel, Jennifer, Peter, Colette, Brandon, Emil, Unique, Jan. Thank you guys so much. Solomon, for coming and hanging out with me. It's been awesome. And I will see you very, very soon. Maybe even tomorrow. Probably not tomorrow. Maybe Friday. All right? So keep your eyes open. If you're not on my email list, go to philipvandusen.com/muse. Get on my email list so that way you can get alerted when I go live. And hit that subscription button. Sorry, if you haven't. Okay? So this has been awesome. You guys stay well, stay healthy, do your best creative work, and I will see you on the rebound. Okay? Take care.